Hi, it's me. I'm back. And I was getting ready for bed and packing my things because I'm gonna leave this hotel tomorrow. What did I say tonight? I'm leaving tonight. I'm gonna leave this hotel tomorrow, go to another one nearby, and then I'm gonna take a bus down to Bangkok uh, in about 4 days. So I want to do more of these, and I was getting ready for bed, like I said, and packing my things, and I already put my nose breathe right strip thing, which I don't use every night. Get rid of this because it doesn't do anything. So I don't use these things every night, but I put it in every once in a while. I did something that I don't normally do. I was hanging out with my friend and his girlfriend, and we went and we got alcohol. And so I had 2 beers tonight. It's amazing since I never drink. It hits me pretty, not hard, but um, but I can feel it. Not now, but earlier, and it's kind of embarrassing how little it takes. But I worry that it with my heart, I have a heart issue, and I don't exactly know what it is. So I worry every time I do anything that ups my cholesterol. And I know that drinking alcohol isn't very good, but I don't really know what my heart issue is, except for having bradycardia, which is a really slow heart rate. My heartbeat usually is 37 beats per minute. A normal one is 60 to, I need to remember this, 60 to 90, 120, something like that, 60 to probably 120. If my heart beat that much, because actually when I was drinking, this is how like overly cautious I am. When I was drinking my second beer, I was getting a bit thirsty. I really wanted water, but I didn't want to order anything, and I was probably getting dehydrated, and my heart rate went up a little bit, just a tiny bit, not anything. And I started getting like worried a little bit, like, oh no, do I need to drink some water? What do I need to do? And then me and the guy kept talking, and then I forgot about it. So it wasn't too bad of a thing. But yeah, that's so part of me making sure I have this on is that I actually haven't had too many bad nights where I felt like I was stopping breathing because I also have sleep apnea, which this heart thing, bradycardia, actually, I've heard bradycardia can be spurred on by sleep apnea, and I've had specific um, when I eat specifically pizza in America and I go to sleep, I often have like really bad sleep apnea problems. Like I wake up in the night breathing in really heavy and like basically a panicked feeling, which always makes me feel like my heart stopped. But it could just be that I was not breathing. So yeah, I've got mental health issues. And now I have great physical health issues. So I talked about hanging out with this guy last week, and I said that I felt like I was following him around a lot, and we didn't talk during the week. And then today came, and it was beginning to, like, it was like 1 p.m. or something like that. And I was like, wow, I probably really annoyed him. Because, like, I've been spending a lot of time with this guy and his girlfriend. His girlfriend's there every time. And it's weird because me and him just kind of talk, and she just gets on her phone and does things. And I always feel kind of bad. Like I'm taking up their quality time together. And I've just kind of like let them contact me. I never have ideas like, oh, hey guys, let's go do this, let's go do that. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you decide things. So he eventually contacted me again today and said, let's go out to eat. And I said, okay, or, well, he said, me and my girlfriend are going out to eat. Do you want to join? I said, sure, because because I have a compulsion to not go, a fear, not fear, but like I have a compulsion just to stay in my room and not do anything. And so I know that I need to do the opposite, blah, blah, blah. So we went to a food place to eat northern Thai food because different regions of Thailand is known for different types of food. Like here in Chiang Mai, we're known for uh, cow soy. That is solid cow soy. I feel like there might be a little bit more to that name. Maybe it's just cow soy. It's noodles and chicken and then like kind of like crunchy noodles. And then you can put um, different toppings and like pickled toppings and stuff, and you put that on top. I'm not a foodie, and these, my friend and girlfriend, his girlfriend, they are, and they know like all these different things. And I always feel really uncomfortable, weird about it, about not knowing anything. I'm like, guys, when I'm at home, I just eat peanut butter sandwiches and burritos, homemade. I put open a can of beans, get like 3 flour tortillas, and put a bunch of other stuff in there, and then eat it. I don't go out to eat. Now, he even asked me. He brought up in his country, McDonald's, like they have like a lot of um, different types of mayonnaise and ketchup or something. And he's like, "What do you have at your McDonald's?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have a clue. Like ketchup and mustard. Do we have mayonnaise? You wouldn't dip in America. You wouldn't dip your French fries in mayonnaise, right? That's not a thing. I can never. I don't even know. I'm an American. I have no clue what we do." For a second, I was going to ask him if he's ever had fries and what's it called? Crap. Fries and liquid that you put on top. Oh, French vinegar. Have you ever had that? French fries, vinegar, some salt on top. My extended family were all from Pennsylvania. Um, and it's kind of like an out in like mountain country. They're mountain people, and that was the thing up there, and genuinely tastes great. You know? French fries and vinegar, and again, you really need that salt on there too. I'll have to remember to ask him about that if he's ever tried that. He's the kind of guy, he like tries all these different things, knows all these different things about food that I just don't. He'll taste something and be like, what is that? What does that taste? I'm like, "Mm, it's food. It's food, dude. What are you doing?" So yeah. Um yeah, I'm gonna move my stuff. I'm gonna miss living here in this hotel because it doesn't feel kind of like a hotel. It feels very comfy. I just wish these places would have a kettle. I feel bad though. There really were no ants here in Thailand. They're like, I don't know what they're called, but I've heard them be called like sweet ants, and it's like they can smell or like something. I think they smell. They can smell the food. They can smell any sweet stuff. And so they really don't want you eating in your hotel rooms and stuff. And if you're in, I was at a really bad hotel. I'll show it. I'll show it right here. Right here. Oh my God. I think I talked about this before, but again, I have two infamous videos where I didn't have any sound. I had to delete. So I said so much then. But I stayed at this really crappy, horrible, um, I don't even, you can't call it a hotel. It's just a room above a restaurant. And it was just so bad and weird. The other rooms were weird. My room was, I had a bathroom. I thought that would be a good thing. It was not because the water was draining out the back of the toilet the whole time. So the water was running constantly, and it was like mildewy, like deep mildewy, like black mold mildew, and the ceiling like looked like mold, horrible. Um, I would come back in and I would immediately start coughing. I mean, I genuinely feel like it was an unhealthy situation. I genuinely feel like I was unhealthy staying there. And from there, I left and I actually got a very nice hotel because I was staying there because I was trying to save money. And so I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? So I said, F it. I just saved money. I'm going to spend some money. So I stayed at a nicer hotel. God, since I've been here, just in Chiang Mai, stayed one. Where'd I go from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. And I'm gonna go to another one, 7. And that's like a month and a half. I've stayed at 7 different places. And they're all like close. They're very close. I would get embarrassed. I would tell my friend, Like, I'm gonna have to move again tomorrow. And they're just like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you moving from one place to the next? I don't know. So I brought all that up, the bad hotel room, because in the bad hotel room, they're like all these different things. Like if you break, it's funny, the worse hotel rooms that you get, the worse rooms you get, the more they're like, have writing on the walls saying like, or, not on the walls, but paper taped to the wall saying like, hey, you bring food in here, we're finding you. We're gonna find out. If they get swarmed by ants, it's swarmed by bugs. It's on you, bro. If we find out you brought stuff here, fine, 200 baht. If you break something in the room, fine, 500 baht. If you do blah blah blah, fine. Do this, fine. And I was like, I made a joke to my mom. I said, you should be paying me to stay here. Like, not pay me or not act like I'm gonna, like, the whole place is destroyed anyways. What are you gonna find me for? And of course, when I left, I just hand them the key and they say, okay, goodbye. And I'm like, well, you're not, it's only like a couple places where like a hostel or something where they might actually go and check, make sure you didn't damage or do something. And most of the places here so far, I always expect them to like be like, okay, wait, we're gonna go check. But that hasn't happened very much this time, or at all this time, really. So I brought, I guess I didn't really say it, but you have inferred that I'm seeing like some ants like just on the desk over there hanging out, running around. And I'm very careful not to spill anything, or I clean up after myself. I probably should be bringing out my food. I just have empty wrappers and stuff, but little specks of food are in there. It's in a bag hanging up on my door right now. Um, they don't really, they only cleaned my room one time, and that's okay. I think I asked them not to enough times that they just went, well, if you want for us to come and make it up, we'll make it up. But I don't have a normal trash can plastic bag, but that's okay. I have my own, and I'm hyper alert to plastic right now. And it's again one more new thing for my OCPD, for my autism, my obsessive nature to focus on. I'm always thinking plastic in the brain, plastic in the brain, plastic in the brain, plastic in the brain. Do I have plastic in the brain? Is the plastic accumulating in me? Is it going to mess up my internal hormonal system? The thing is, my internal hormonal system is already messed up. That's why I take testosterone. But I also think, and this is a possibility that you can have, if they found that stroke patients, heart attack patients, I believe, they found like more plastic in them. So if you think about it, if you have little tiny plastic pieces, tiny, 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 and it can worm its way, for lack of a better word, worm its way into your body. Like all it needs to do is either like, so if you have cholesterol, I don't know what it's called, plaque buildup in your arteries. And at first it's like, I think it's like gummy plaque, or it's gumminess, but then it becomes plaque. And all that, like a little tiny plastic kind of like it's going through the bloodstream. All I was asked to do is kind of like knock some of the plaque off. And if the plaque is big enough, or if the plastic is big enough, you can block something. And then you end up having a stroke, then you end up having a heart attack. So I think about these kind of things. I sometimes, not, it's been rare, but I'll put on a mask if I'm walking by. I've shown videos before where I walk. The Chiang Mai old city is like a square. I've never talked about this. It's a square, and it's got a moat around it. And so if I'm ever walking around the moat, and that's the main road, there's one on the inside square, and then one on the outside square. And I just in my brain I imagine plastic, but I also imagine a lot of the plastic that we get inside of us is actually from tires. It's the wear and tear of tires, and then it gets kicked up, and it's particles, and then there's like um, brake dust, and that you breathe that in, and it's unhealthy. So I'll wear the mask sometimes. When I first got up here, I was becoming like I was in Bangkok, and the air quality there was so bad, and I just was like kind of unaware. I wasn't thinking about it, and and once I got up here, I kind of went, oh wow, down there was really bad air quality, and it's gonna start getting really bad up here and that's partially why I'm leaving, and partially why I came up here first. Because there's burning in the forest and the smoke, and it's gonna get bad. Burning the crops. So then they just stay inside, not ordinances, but they say like, hey, stay inside, it's bad today. So I got up here, and it was heavy tourist season. It's a little bit heavy tourist season right now, but not as much as before. And I'd walk around with a mask on, and it's weird because Thai people will wear masks either because for the same reasons as me, because of the smog and smoke, because of the traffic, and they're just like, I don't want to breathe this shit in. They're aware of it. Foreigners, they get over here and they're just like, somehow they're just not aware of it. They don't think about it. They think there's a weird thing that happens. It happened to me too, when before, because this isn't my first time here. But sometimes you when you first get here, you kind of see this as more natural. I don't know if that's a weird paternalistic patron or something like that. I don't think so. I think it's just the amount of green that you see. Like you'll see plants everywhere, and you'll see pots and plants, and it just feels more jungly, for lack of a better word. Even though I can think about South Carolina, There's trees, there's nature. But yeah, you get over here and there's just something different about about everything. The nature and the plants and the amount of potted plants and I think it screws with foreigners' minds and they start to think of Thailand as this natural paradise place. And you can buy the fruit at stalls, and maybe it gives you this illusion um, that it's natural. But meanwhile, they use chemicals on their plants just like anywhere else. They might even use more, and might even be more toxic. Um, yeah, and there's a lot of here in Chiang Mai. There's a lot of vegans and hippies and stuff, but they're like Trustafarian hippies. They're like not Trustafarian, Crustafarian hippies. The crusty people. And so it's weird. They're like, I'm a vegan. I only put vegetables. I don't put meat in my body. But meanwhile, they're like breathing in the most polluted. It's not the most polluted air ever, but it's like they're just not as aware about like all these other things. So the foreigners would see me walking around with my mask and they'd be a bit judgmental. And it's weird because it's like they don't care at all about the Thai people wearing masks or not wearing masks. They're not going to judge at all, but they're judging me. It's very strange. But even I've seen this even in Charleston and like around Charleston, South Carolina, where I would typically work. Like a lot of black people, not a lot, but it's not rare to see a black person wearing a mask ever since COVID. And it's, I can't even say the typical age range, but the average white person is not wearing masks. But the white people don't bother the black people that are wearing masks. They don't. They're not going. They're going to leave them alone. But I haven't worn a mask in forever in America. But the last time I was here that I came from America, it was right after COVID. Right after COVID, and they were still dealing with it here. I had to go through all this formality stuff where I had to get nasal swab, all of that before I came here. And if I had COVID, I wouldn't be let on the plane. So I was making sure to wear a mask. And I was getting like people were giving me comments and giving me looks and stuff. And it was so strange because I did think like, you're not doing that for black people. You don't. And it's just so strange that they see me as one of them. So, but I'm not doing what they're doing. And so that makes me I don't know, a bad person. It makes me a unusual person. I'm not playing by the rules of their world. But because black people are not there in their culture, even though it's America, it's like they're playing by different rules. And then you come over here, if you're a foreigner and you're white, but really if you're a foreigner, you're like a Western foreigner. If you're perceived as a Western foreigner and you're wearing a mask, the other, especially white, especially white, then the other white Western foreigners are going to be like, what are you doing? Because you're one of us, or you're scared. And but it's like, well, do you care about the Thai person? You're gonna make fun of the Thai person, and they're not. Again, it's just me being autistic. Is like I recognize, I understand how all of that works, in group, out group, all of that. But though I can technically understand, like logically understand in group, out group psychology dynamics, I even find it kind of interesting. But I cannot I cannot fathom I I cannot fathom that in group, out group, and like understanding it. Again, like I understand logically, but I don't understand any other way. And with that, I actually thought I would stop talking at 20, and then I got sucked into the mask thing. So that's it for tonight. I I hope you are happy today. I hope you're happy tonight. I hope you have a good night, a good day, a restful sleep, or morning, whenever you watch this. I love you. I don't know you, so I don't really love you, but I love you. I hope the best for you. I wish the best for you. Goodbye, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.